Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Now this video is going to be about year 2 and what I've gone through so far. I didn't mean that in like a morbid way. I meant that like what have I done in the course on year 2 so far. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So yeah, year 2 has flown by. I can't believe I've almost finished it already. So I don't know, it's madness, complete madness. So it was bizarre because we had one session on Zoom, I think it was, or no, it could have been in person. And before we knew it, bam, straight on placement. Placement 1 included ambulance and hospital mix, because when you get to year 2, it's a bit wonky. When you get to year 2, you have to do hospital placements too. So I don't know, the first placement I had it wasn't the best, but you know, dealt with it. You know, these things happen. So yeah, so you go straight on to placement. Then I got back to uni and we did something called the C1 to C4 practicals. Now that includes cannulation, intubation, needle cricothyroidotomy and needle thoracocentesis. So the way I remembered it was intubation and then needle in the hand, needle in the throat, needle in the chest. But those aren't the proper terms, okay? And I should probably emphasize that these videos that I make, like, I don't represent the university. This is just my experiences. So, you know, anything I say, like, uni can't be held, like, do you know what I mean? I don't know how to say it, like the disclaimer properly, but I should probably mention it just in case. So yeah, so C1 to C4 practicals, and then we had the exams. So the exams on it were the practicals itself. So the practical exam, you had to go around each station. So it's all laid out on one big table. You're in a room with an assessor. There's cameras in the ceilings and microphones, and you go through each one and they ask you questions along the way for each one. So that was, it was so stressful, my gosh. It's just, there was so much theory to learn with it that, you know, it was easy to muddle them up, and it took a lot, and I mean a lot, of revision to get it all right. But I mean, it's important to get it right because, you know, you're putting the patients at risk otherwise. So yeah, we did the practical exam, and then we had Christmas, the best 2 weeks. It was so nice to reset after all that. Then when we came back, we had the theory exam on Zoom. So it was pretty much asking the same questions the assessor asked us in the practical exam, but it was online. So we did that, and then oh my gosh, I can't remember what we did next. I think we did like a few anatomy lessons, and then I think we went back on placement. Yeah, we had like a 5-week placement then. And then when we came back, we had a clinical decision-making exam, which was really interesting. So there were loads of different subjects, such as end of life. So end of life was a big one. And you had an online exam asking you like case study of a patient, about 4 or 5 different ones, and you had to come to a decision on their care and management. So it was really interesting. I'm quite happy with my result. It could have been a bit better, but I'm still quite happy with it. But it was really interesting in the exam. And then we went on to the Vivas. So the Vivas are talking exams. And this was based around 5 medical scenarios, so sepsis, COPD, asthma, delirium and rhabdomyolysis. You have to learn all 5, and then you'll randomly pick 2, so they'll say pick a number between 1 and 5, and they'll do that twice, and then you've got 15 minutes to talk about each one, so you only do 2. And they ask you questions, so like definition or something, you know, for example. I can't go into too much depth about it because I might get told off, so I want to be careful about that. But yeah, you get 15 minutes or so, and they ask you questions or prompts, and you've got to answer it as best you can, share your knowledge. Kind of gives them an idea too of what level you're at. Then there were, in the meantime, I should probably mention we've still been having Zooms and lessons and things along the line. Then we had an infographic, which is basically like a poster. You don't get to choose, it's randomly assigned to you. So you do like a poster on the paramedic management of ... I quite enjoy doing that actually, because I like to think of myself as quite creative, so doing something like that on the laptop was quite fun for me. So I hope I get a good mark for that. I don't actually know when the results for that are, so I probably should chase that up. Then I'm looking at my essay things. I've got an ECG exam on Friday, the 28th of April, which I'm dreading. It's funny, before my 3rd placement of 1st year, they were squiggly lines. Apart from the cardiac rest rhythms, I didn't have a clue. But I understand them a bit better now, and I find that when I learn something, sharing it on Instagram kind of helps me to retain that. So that's kind of my weird method. And as a lot of you know, I am a quiz queen. I love doing PowerPoint quizzes, Instagram quizzes. It's kind of my thing, and I think that's what I'm known as the on the cohort. It's the quiz queen, so I don't mind that nickname. So, but yeah, ECG exam coming up, which I'm stressing a little bit about. And then we go back. Nope, not yet. Then we have an abnormal labour. So if you remember, my 1st year we had a normal labour exam, and now this year it's about abnormal labour because the university does like a spiral curriculum, so you build up your knowledge every year, which I think is perfect. So abnormal labour is coming up. Then we have an essay deadline for a 1,500 critical reflection on mental health or social exclusion call we went to. So I'm in the middle of writing that now actually. Then we go on placement. So yeah, it's very weird. I think we do about 4 weeks, then we're back in uni for 3 weeks, and then we go back out on placement for 4 weeks. I'm assuming that's what the 3 weeks in uni is for. It's for help with the literature review. And I think there's pediatric emergencies and end of life scenarios and one other thing. And that's year 2, almost over and done with already. Yikes. I am not ready. I'm not ready. Yeah, it's madness. It's proper madness. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think there's anything I've missed. If there is, here's my gap that I'll put anything I missed down on. But yeah, I'm gonna go do the 3rd video now. So thank you for watching. As ever, any questions, pop them down below and I will respond via comment rather than by video, because like I say, it's an incredibly intense course. So yeah, see you in the next video.